Okay, today we're going to talk about a great trading signals system from Forexearlywarning, and let's look at that. Okay, the trading system that we're going to be discussing is called the Forex Heatmap. It's based on currency strength, and if the signals are consistent, you can get some great trades and great movements and make lots of pips with this really simple system. So it's a real-time system. And let's start looking at some of the examples. So in this case, the euro is strong on all pairs, and the euro Aussie probably had some slight weakness, and so the arrow system appears and basically points you right at the euro Aussie. You can see that 7 out of 7 of the euro pairs are going up. So a great time to trade one of the euro pairs, not necessarily the euro USD, but the euro pairs in general, would be when the euro is strong. Another good time to trade like the euro Aussie would be if the Aussie dollar was weak. And remember, the Forex heat map works for 8 different currencies. Let's look at the Canadian dollar pairs. So you can see in this this live signal, that the Canadian dollar is weak. So if the Canadian dollar is weak, you might want to sell one of the pairs where the base currency is the Canadian dollar or the cross currency is the Canadian dollar. Because if the Canadian dollar is weak, this one would have to be red and dropping. And if it's the base currency, it would have to be rising. So the system with the arrows points you straight at the Canadian dollar Swiss or the New Zealand dollar Canadian if the Canadian dollar is weak. Here's another example live signal. And these are real-time live signals, refresh all the time, giving you a clear vision of what to do. This is New Zealand dollar strength. So if the New Zealand dollar is the base currency, it would have to be rising. If it's the cross currency, it would have to be dropping. This is a combination signal here. On the Forex heat map, all the pairs are just stacked right on top of each other. You can see it on one computer screen. In this case, the British pound is weak, but the yen is strong. So the pound yen would be your best pair to trade, and the system points you right towards it with our arrow system. Consistent pound weakness, and consistent signals is very important. If the signals are mixed, you don't want to trade. You just don't trade. So let's look at a couple more examples, but let's look at the price movement also. So in this particular example, the British pound is weak. So that means the euro pound would have to be rising. The pound Swiss would have to be falling. So this is your pound Swiss chart, and this is the price drop. Now this is about 150 pips of movement here. These are not 10, 15 pip movements here. This is 100 pips of movement. Okay. And so if you get a good consistent signal on a volatile pair, the pips just come right onto your screen, and you have a great chance to make pips. In this case, the Aussie USD had a strong signal. The US dollar was strong, and the Aussie dollar had some slight weakness. Once again, like the Aussie dollar just sells off, and this is your intraday time frame. So this is a great signal and a strong sell-off. And once again, this isn't 10, 15 pips. This is 76.50 here when it started dropping. Even if you caught this movement here, this is 75.50. So it's 100 pips total if you caught the second wave here. It's about 55, 60 pips right here, and it's still dropping. So these are good movements. This isn't a scalping. You can use the system to scalp, but I really wouldn't want to even do that. We also have, if you like these signals, you can set up your trend indicators basically the same way by individual currency. Click on that this link right here, over on the left, over on the right. And you can set up some real simple trend indicators that look just like the ones we were watching a second ago. And you can have trend indicators combined with the heat map system, and you're starting to build a great Forex trading system. Okay. Now, you want to be notified when the market is moving, so we have an app, and the app will send you a push alert when the signals are lined up correctly on the heat map. So as soon as the signals line up correctly and are consistent, you will get messages on your phone in real time at 5-minute increments. You can see, for example, the New Zealand dollar is strong and it tells you what trading session it's in. Then if you go up to the New Zealand dollar pairs and you see a signal like this, you can look to potentially trade. So we have the signals and we have the signals app. This is a superb professional alert system and mobile app from Forexearlywarning.com.